Human intuition is a survival mechanism. It helps us navigate the physical world. However, these instincts fail when confronted with the abstract rules of mathematics. When we deal with concepts like probability, infinity, or foundational logic, our gut feelings are consistently proven wrong. Mathematical paradoxes function as stress tests. They reveal the hidden, reality-breaking rules of the universe that operate beneath the surface of our everyday perception. To see where your intuition hits its limit, let's look at 3 specific mathematical stress tests. Imagine you are in a room with just 23 people. What do you think the probability is that at least 2 individuals in that group share a birthday? Most people guess the odds are extremely low. In reality, the probability is over 50%. This happens because our brains instinctively compare 20 people to the 365 days in a year. The correct approach is to look at the number of possible pairs. With 23 people, you can form 253 distinct pairs, which is already more than half the number of days in a year. This probability blind spot has major consequences for digital security, specifically regarding hash functions. These are character strings used to sign and secure digital contracts. A hacker can use a birthday attack to exploit this. They generate thousands of minor, invisible variations of 2 different contracts, one fair and one malicious, until they find a matching hash. Once the hacker finds a collision, they can have you sign the fair version, but claim later that you signed the malicious one. Since both documents produce the same digital fingerprint, signature software cannot detect the fraud. This chart shows why the attack works. The blue line represents shared birthday probability, which spikes toward 100%. The orange line shows the much lower probability for one specific date. This intuition gap creates a massive opening for digital fraud. For our second test, we look at a thought experiment from David Hilbert. Imagine a hotel with an infinite number of rooms. Even though the building is currently 100% fully booked, you need a room. How can the hotel take you in if every single room already has a guest? You simply ask every current guest to move to the room numbered 1 higher than their current one. The person in room 1 moves to room 2 to 3, and so on. Room 1 is now vacant for you. The scenario scales even further. Imagine an infinite busload of new passengers arrives at the same fully booked hotel. This diagram illustrates how the hotel handles the crowd. Every existing guest moves to the room number twice their current one. This shift to even-numbered rooms instantly frees up an infinite number of odd-numbered rooms, creating space for the endless bus. Hilbert's thought experiment demonstrates that physical concepts like at capacity do not apply when dealing with infinite sets. In 1901, Bertrand Russell formulated a paradox that directly contradicted the absolute rules of logic. It's known as the barber paradox. Suppose a town barber shaves all the men who do not shave themselves, and only those men. Does the barber shave himself? If he shaves himself, he breaks the rule that he only shaves men who don't shave themselves. But if he doesn't shave himself, the rule says he must go to the barber, who is himself. This loop is logically impossible to resolve. This contradiction ended what mathematicians call naive set theory. It proved that allowing mathematical groups to refer to themselves creates errors that break the logic of the entire system. Consequently, the bedrock of modern set theory had to be rewritten. Today, sets must be built from pre-existing sets and are forbidden from referring to themselves, preventing these logical bugs. Mathematics survived these tests by patching security flaws, redefining infinite space, and rewriting the rules of logic. However, in the 1930s, logician Kurt Gödel proved that mathematical systems can never be completely perfect or self-contained. Gödel's incompleteness theorem showed that within any system of rules, there will always be statements that are true but cannot be proven using those rules. This means we can never be certain that our rules will eventually produce another unresolvable contradiction. No mathematical system is capable of proving its own consistency from the inside. This leaves the field without an absolute guarantee. We continue to rely on these rules, moving forward on the hope that an unsolvable contradiction simply never arises to break the system.